The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, a commentary by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. This is a lecture titled Who is God? Given on December 29th, 1994 at Weggis, Switzerland. Surrendering to the Lord, you can achieve that state of consciousness, the fullest, fully blossomed state of consciousness. Now, what is the Lord? Who is the Lord? Where is He? It's easy to say surrender to God. But what is God? Where is God? Nobody has ever seen God. Becomes the next question. Where is God? Who is Lord? Who is Lord of this creation? What is Lordship? What is it that rules this world? You'd find it's the love that rules the world, the center core of the existence, rules this whole universe. Like the sun is the center of the solar system and sun rules all the planets, like the very center core of your life is ruled by love. Beyond your changing body, beyond your changing thoughts, beyond your changing feelings, the very center core of your existence, which is very subtle, very delicate. Call it love or anything. That consciousness, the core of existence, is responsible for this whole creation. There lies the Lordship. Do you see what I am saying? A bird feeds its young one because of love. A flower blossoms because of love. Ducks hatch eggs because of love. Cows take care of their calves because of love. Kittens are taken care by cats because of love. Have you seen monkeys how they care for their young ones? Love is inbuilt in creation. That is how the whole creation is functioning. And that, what we call as inbuilt, is the core of consciousness. That's why Jesus said love is God. God is love. Synonymous. Now, Patanjali in the next sutra very beautifully analyzes what is that state of consciousness. Who is that? Who is Lord? That consciousness is free from misery or suffering. What are the suffering? Klesha, karma, vipaka, asaya, aparamsta purusa, Visesa Iswara. That core of consciousness which is free from suffering. What type of suffering? 5 types of suffering is announced here. One type of suffering is ignorance, avidya. When your consciousness is filled with ignorance, then there is restlessness, there is unhappiness, suffering. You're unhappy, misery. Misery is due to ignorance. And what is ignorance? Ignorance is giving importance to something which is not worth that importance. Thinking that something that is changing to be permanent and imagining something to be joyful which is not joyful. Do you see what I am saying? Something impure to consider them as pure, something that is temporary and considering as permanent. Just like someone tells some words to you, and it is just a word that came from somebody's mouth and it vanished. But thinking it is a permanent thing, keeping it in your mind, is ignorance. Someone's comment is a fleeting wave of thought or energy which came and went away. They don't even have that opinion later on. But you keep that in your mind as though this is the opinions so and so have about me for all the time, which is not true. This is one example of ignorance. See, consciousness which is devoid of ignorance, that is free from misery, asmita, means me, I. This feeling of me, I is the second cause of suffering. See, that's why we do this hollow and empty. When we do hollow and empty, see, there is no I. There is no I. You exist as though you are not. You exist like a flower. You exist like a cloud. You exist like the space free and hollow and empty. Rather than there's somebody there, me. What people think about me. What do I want from them? How I take advantage of them? Whether they consider me good or bad. All these things about me, I. This is called asmita. This gives you misery. Nothing else can give you misery. Need gives you misery. Your own idea in the mind. Me, mine, me, mine. Not being one with the existence, having a separate feeling, separate identity. I am different from everybody. All are fools. I am the intelligent person. In fact, all those people who consider everybody else fool and only they are intelligent, deep down they know they are really a big fool. To avoid looking at the foolishness, they consider everybody else as crazy, as foolish. This asmita eats you up. This is the cause of your suffering. This I, me, can hook into anything, any subject, any topic. Asmita, raga, and then craving, strong craving for anything inside, or dvesha means aversion, hatred. And abhinivesha, fear, craving, aversion, fear, me, I, that separate entity, I-ness and ignorance. These are 5 sources of misery. 5 causes of misery. And the Lord is devoid of these 5 miseries. That consciousness, the deep down in you, is devoid of these 5, I tell you. Things outside you are miserable, outside you are craving for something. But if you really go to the core of your existence, deep down in the very center point of you, you are free from it. You may be hating somebody on the circumference, but in the center of your existence there is no hatred. There is fear only in the circumference. There is ignorance only in the circumference. But when you come to the core of existence, there is no fear. There is no ignorance there. There is no you there. These 5 kleshas, when they are eliminated, even from the circumferences, then whatever is in the center becomes so imminent, so obvious, The Lordship in you blossoms. God in you is manifested. So God is that Purusha, that being. Our Lord is that being which is devoid of these five kleshas, sufferings, or miseries. And He is also devoid of karma. There are four types of karma. One is the karma which would give merits, and there's another type of action that gives you demerits. You do something good to somebody and they feel very good about it, and they, oh, thank you very much. They thank you from their heart, and that brings you a good meritful karma. And you do something to somebody and they feel suffocated. They suffer, they cry, they yell, and they are miserable. That brings you the karma of demerit. And there are certain karma which is both merit and demerit combined. It is a mixture of merit and demerit, the third type of karma. And the fourth type of karma is, it is devoid of both merit and demerit. Like you go for a walk in the evening, that has no merits or demerits. It is an action. There are certain action which has no merits or demerits. You are vacuum cleaning the hall, so it has no merit or demerit. But if you are doing it for somebody's job, as you are helping someone in the kitchen, then that's an action of merit. They are cutting the vegetable, cooking food for everybody. It's an action of merit. So meritful action, demerited action, mixed action which gives mixed results, and action which has no results at all, neutral results. These are four types of karma. This very core of your existence being is free from all this karma, has no karma. Whatever action that comes forth from the Lord is not attached to any karma, good, bad, right, wrong, nothing is there. Vipaka. Vipaka is the fruit of that action, result of that action. Enjoying or suffering, the fruit of action is not there. This does not touch that very sensitive, purest core of your being, of your existence, which is the Lord of creation. Do you hear what I'm saying? That consciousness which is free from this and Ashya. Ashya means latent, desires or impressions, opinions, seeds. So when this consciousness is free from, or that being which is free from klesha, its misery, karma you understand, karma, actions, vipaka, the fruit of action, and ashya, impressions of action. That special being is Ishvara, our Lord. And where is the special being, Lord? Not somewhere hanging in the sky. It's in your heart. It's in every being's heart. Do you get it? Whatever action you do, whatever events happen around you, it does not touch a central point of your life. That central core of your life remains a virgin. Jesus is born to a virgin means that Jesus, the Lord, is born to this virgin area deep inside you, which is untouched by any events or happening in life. You get that? Purush Vishesha, that special being, is the Lord. And when you are your mind, that external mind is worshipping your core of the being, it is always all worship is the mind to its being. Do you get it? It's like the circumference collapsing into the center. A boundary, a circumference that is outside is collapsing to the center. When a boundary collapses to the center, what happens? It becomes infinite, limitless. Our little chattering mind, when it prays to the infinite being that you are. This is prayer. Do you get it? For that you can say, okay, Lord, my Lord, help whomsoever you pray, whatever you pray, that whenever you pray outside, all reaches me and me alone. So what Krishna says, no, it doesn't. Whomsoever you pray, everything comes to me alone because I am the core of the existence. You may worship that, you may worship this, you may worship something else. Means what? Wherever you worship, worship is just an act of dissolving. A sugar doll, a candy getting into water. Whichever point it gets into the water doesn't matter. It is going to mix and become one with the water. Like that, the worship dissolves. Worship is an act of dissolving the mind into its being. And that type of being, when you keep in mind, which is free from klesha, free from karma, ashya and vipaka, it's almost instantaneous. Immediately, your mind starts dissolving. That's why there is no difference between God, Guru, and yourself. It says, Ishwaro Guru Ratmi Trimurti Bhed Vibhagyanid. It's just a matter of words. Whatever the master is, it is nothing but the core of your being. And it is the same as the divine that rules this entire creation. Purvesam api guru kalena anavashid. This being, this consciousness is Guru, is the guide even to the ones who were before. There is no breakage of time as far as it is concerned. I think there is something in the Bible. What was it? I was before Abraham. I thought people who were before me. Same thing also Krishna says now. Says, I have thought Ishwaku and Manu. Then Arjuna says, come on, don't tell me that. They were born long ago. And you are just now with me, contemporary to me. How could you be? You have told those people. I just am terribly confused on it. Don't tell me this thing that you are Guru to somebody you were before you, thousands of years before. How is it possible? Then he says, come on, he says, look, you do not know me. Here I have come so many times. You have come so many times, you have forgotten. But I know it all. I have taught then, I am teaching now also. I will continue to teach in the future also. The I is the same, the principle is the same because there is no breakage of time. It continues. Jesus is continuing throughout. It's not that he stopped, broken somewhere. So people think, oh, he is going to come in the future sometime. Purvesam api guru is the master of the ones before also because there is no breakage of time. Tasya vasaka pranava tatra nirati sayam sarvajna bijam mansutra vibodhi. Says, in this state of consciousness is the seed of all knowing. This is very important. Tatra niratisayam barvajna bijam. The seed of all knowingness is present in a very special manner there. But here people get into trouble. Well, If Lord Krishna knew everything, why did he go to pacify, to stop the war? 3 times he attempted to stop the war. If he knew already, why did he do it? He knew anyway what is going to happen. And then he never told Arjuna, oh, war is going to happen, you are going to win the war. No. He says, if you win the war, then you will rule the world. If you lose the war anyway, you will go to the heaven. He doesn't give the right answer, right knowledge, right? He doesn't say the result is going to be this. So Krishna, if he is Lord, he knew it. Why didn't he say? This is the second question that comes. Says, Tatra Nidatisayam Sarvajna Bijam. The seed of all knowing is present there. You have a dictionary in your home. Any moment, any word you want, you can just turn the page and pick it out, right? But you don't need to by heart every word in the dictionary, memorize every word in the dictionary. Nor you need to know all the words in the dictionary all the time. For example, you open yourself up to this highest form of your consciousness. This moment, all knowledge is present. All knowledge means what? This moment you can know or see, feel all the beings that are in the world and what they are doing. How many millions of people are there? Some are waking up from their bed, some are going to bed, some are taking bath in their bathroom, some are in the motor car. And you see what is happening this moment, this one moment. There are so many people who are snoring. This is just about the people. And there are many people who are fighting, there are many people who are eating, there are many people who are doing different activities right this moment. It's just the people take account of all the beings. How many living beings are there? So many chickens are hatching, so many are being chopped off. So many buffaloes are wandering around, so many cows are licking, so many monkeys are jumping from trees to trees. So many lizards are baffled, going here and there, not knowing what they are doing. So many ants, so many cockroaches, so many flies, so many mosquitoes, so many amoebas, and millions and crores of viruses and bacterias. Many are dying, many are being born, many are hatching, many are growing. There is enormous activity this very moment. Among these enormous activity, you pick up, okay, what so and so is doing, what David is doing now, what Linda is doing. This is so much job and it is not worth, but it is possible. Sometimes people ask me, how come Guruji you know the most secret in my life that nobody I have told? You know it. How is it that you know it? I said, I don't know, but I know it. And sometimes I search for my own keys that I have kept it somewhere. This is more confusing. How come, Guruji, you are searching for your comb, your key, that you don't know where you kept, but you seem to know something that I never told anybody? Now nobody knew except me. How is it possible? I said, it is possible. Just like you know how many hairs are in your head. Do you know how many hairs you have? You don't know. But you know you have hairs, right? You know you have hairs, but you do not know how many hairs are there in your head. So knowledge and ignorance coexisting. And even if you pull one hair, you know it, like that particular hair is being pulled. That is why it says, Tatra Nirastisayam Badvajna Bijam. This is all-knowing seed of all knowingness is present in that consciousness. But it is amazing. How it is amazing? It is amazing. It is present there. Tatra Niratisayam. In the Lordship, in that state of consciousness, the seed of all knowing is present. Purvesam api guru kalena anavashit. This consciousness is master even to those who lived before. Tasya Vasaka Pranava. How do you address it? He say Om, and then that is addressing it. Om is the nearest sound that it could be addressed with. Because when you say Om, the prana, the consciousness, is total. A, you say prana is in the lower portion of the body. O, it's in the middle portion. They say it's in the top portion. We say Om, the prana is total, complete. You have done that, no? Have you seen this experimented that on your body? Made the sound come. Om is the sound which is so special, which is the nearest sound that could be used to address this totality of consciousness. The Om's distorted form is Amen. In Christian, Amen, or Amin in Islam. That is why Om is the one sound which is accepted by all the religions in the world. Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, whatever religion that is there in the world, they all have a word which is Om or very close to Om. So Om is one sound which comes very close to this totality of consciousness. All other names are just the periphery. Tad japa tad artha bhavanam. This is another important sutra. Said, japa. Japa means what? A sound that can remind you of that state of feeling. For example, if you say mango, the word mango immediately gives you the idea and that feeling. And if you are fond of mango, your mouth starts watering. Immediate, there is a reaction. That feeling comes. Say Christmas. The word Christmas immediately generates a feeling of gifts and celebration. It's associated with gift, Christmas gifts, celebration. So, tad japa tad artha bhavanam means when you say Om word, you remember that totality of being. That being that is the very core of this existence, that life which is free from misery and which is all love, unconditional love. Sound Om reminds you of the Lord, of the creation. Tata pratyak chetana adhigamo piyantaraya abvasa. What's the use of it? When this feeling of elevation, totality of consciousness coming to the core of your existence comes to you, then witness consciousness dawns in you, pratyak. A different form of consciousness happens in you. Your mind gets totally transformed. Clarity begins in your thinking, clarity begins in your feeling. The whole body undergoes the transformation, so alive and full of prana, and all the obstacles get removed from your way. Just the memory of the Lordship of the Divine can remove obstacles from your way. Now, what are the obstacles? Then they count 9 obstacles. Vyadhi, Sthyana, Samsaya, Pramada, Ilasya, Avidati, Branti, Darsana, Alabda, Bhumikatva, Anavasti, Tatvani, Chitta, Vikshepos te Antaraya. Now these 9 obstacles, what are they? First one is Vyadhi, means illness in the body. Illness in the body is one obstacle. An illness in the mind, Sthyana, that is mentally retarded, an inability to comprehend, to understand, to listen, to follow, to practice anything. This is Sthyana. The second type of obstruction. Many of you will be all right, but when you get on the course, sometimes you get sick. You know why? As soon as you come on a course or start doing some practice, meditation, and some sickness comes, body pains here and there. If you're watching television, nothing happens. But if you sit for meditation, your body gets so restless and pains here and there. This is the sort of obstruction that comes, obstacles in the path of yoga. And then samsaya. Samsaya is doubt. The mind is bogged by doubt. Three types of doubt. Doubt about oneself. Am I good enough? I don't think I can do it. You see everyone else meditating and everyone else very happy and sitting in a pleasant mood. And you see them, oh, they are all enjoying, blissful. It is only me that is suffering. I am no good. I don't think I can ever make it. So doubt about yourself and then doubt about the technique. Is this all right? Will this technique do any good to me? I don't think. Maybe I should do some other technique. It's not for me. Or doubt about the teacher. What is he up to? What does he want? These three types of doubts can hamper the progress. Doubts about yourself begins like that. That's an obstruction. You understand doubt properly. See, your doubt is always about something that is good. You never doubt in negativity, you doubt always positivity. You never doubt your depression. You never say, am I really depressed? But if you are happy, you doubt, am I really happy? Is this what I want? I am not sure, you say. Doubt is the third obstruction. Pramada. Next is pramada, means doing something wrong knowingly it is very wrong, with an intention. You know that certain things are not good for you, and knowing too well doing it, or knowing too well that you have to do something and not doing it. This is pramada. Do you see? You have to pay the tax and you don't pay. This is pramada. You know, if you don't do a certain job, you will be in trouble. Knowing that you will be in trouble and you getting into trouble is pramada. Suppose you are sick. You know, when you are sick, you should not eat ice cream or whatever, should not overeat. And you know you have some problem with sugar, you shouldn't eat much sugar. Knowingly, you go on eating that sugar or chocolate or whatever. This is pramada. So carelessness. Carelessness. Not being alert and attentive is another obstacle, pramada. And then alasya is laziness, the heaviness in the body. You may do a lot of things, but when it comes to doing a little asanas or postures or exercises, oh, come on. And if you say you have to do some pranayam, oh, pranayam. So feeling so lazy to do that laziness, it can creep up in any aspect of life in doing anything. One is intentionally not doing. Another is heaviness or laziness in the body that comes over you, takes over you. Avidati means being engaged in any one of the sense objects and not coming out of it. Obsession, you call it. You are hungry, you eat food. But after eating, after your tummy is full, there is no point in thinking about food the whole day. Same thing, people, you know. You see some nice, beautiful, scenic place, you see it, and then that's it, finished. But don't go on thinking about seeing something nice, beautiful all the time. Do you see what I'm saying? All the organs of senses, the sense organs, their action is limited to some time and it should be over after that. But carrying it on, thinking about it all the 24 hours, being feverish about the whole thing all the time is avidati, is obsession. Do you see what I'm saying? Is it clear? So you eat, and after eating, you should not think about eating. Same thing, sex. You have sex finished afterwards. Not carry sex in your head all the 24 hours. Then that is avidati, non detachment from it. People go to all these blue movies and sit there and see the movie day and night. Their head gets so hot. Body is incapable of functioning, but mind is obsessed with the thoughts of sex. Even old people get into this problem, 70, 80, 90 years old, but they are thinking about it. Said Mullah Nasruddin had a birthday, 75th year birthday, and someone asked him, "What do you think about a girlfriend?" Mullah said, "Don't ask me that question. Only 3 days ago I stopped thinking about girls." Incompletion of any sense experience creates an avidati, attachment to that sense object, and lack of non attachment to sense objects. Avidati is a big obstruction in the path of yoga because it does not allow you to get centered. It just pulls you and keeps you there, there, there. Do you see what I'm saying? Avidati. Bhranti darsana. Bhranti darsan is hallucination. You imagine you are somebody very special. Suddenly you imagine you are a superstar or whatever. This is a problem with many people. Many seekers, they practice something, then they get some visions, and they get caught up in that vision so much. Because their visions are not completely false and not completely to the mixture of some truth and some false. So people try to hold on to that. Many cults have happened in this part of the world just because of this Bhranti Darsan. They never understood these obstructions, obstacles that would come in the path of yoga. This is called Yog Maya. Yog Maya is a vision would come and give you some message, or it will be intuitive message. You know, you are sitting and meditating and a message will come, oh, just go and open the door. Somebody is waiting for you, and you go and you see, oh, really? Somebody was waiting and you get all excited. Oh, inside voice came, Jesus told me to do that. Okay, I did it. And next day, it will happen third time, it will happen fourth time, and it will happen fifth time. But because you are not completely hollow and empty, then there are residues or traces of your desires and hatreds and fears. Those things will come up in that form. I am true Jesus, I am true Gandhiji, to somebody else. It will give you those ideas in the mind and then you suffer. Do you see what I am saying? Happened to one of our devotee, and that person had a vision. Almost every vision was right. Then one of the vision came, don't take your husband to a doctor. It'll be cured without going to a doctor. I simply said all right because she was already afraid of going to a doctor and averse to allopathic medicine. And in meditation, she found that all these things coming up and she said, no, I'm not going to the doctor. So sugar went up, and he lost both his eyes. And then the person became so angry. Why my inner voice did this thing to me, has deceived me. It was not proper understanding, lack of understanding. 80% of things were right because 80% there was more purity. And there were one's own fear, craving, and those things were there still. And then those things come as those thought or intuitive thought, and they went on it, and it didn't give a very pleasant result back. This is an obstruction. That's why don't gallop on these horses or delusions. Bhranti darsana. It says Bhranti darsan. Many people get caught up in. And alabdha bhumikatva. That is, sometimes people say, "Oh Guruji, I am doing all these practice from 8 years, 10 years, but I don't seem to get anywhere. I simply sit there, nothing happened. Just thoughts come, and I have not attained any state." Non attainment of any state or any samadhi, any peace, any tranquility is another obstruction. The eighth obstruction, where one feels completely stuck and going nowhere, but at the same time, one is not letting go of the practice. They are continuing the practice also, but feel they are stuck. No progress, nothing is happening. And then, anavasti tattva means instability. Okay, you get some good experiences. I feel calm, I feel wonderful. But then it doesn't stay any longer. This is another complaint. The ninth obstacle is I feel all this bliss, but it all goes away. I feel very peaceful, but in moments it all goes. Just few moments, everything vanishes. I have all this alertness, awareness, good intention, but I come out and start doing something. In 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's all gone. Few days I feel I have a wonderful state of awareness, alertness, and then very soon it is all gone. It doesn't stay. This is another usual complaint that people come up with. This is the ninth obstacle. It is called Anavasti Tattva. Anavasti Tattva, not getting stabilized in any state. What comes along with these obstacles, is dukkha, sorrow. Daudmansya is a bitterness in the mind. You feel bitter inside. Dukkha is sadness, and then bitterness, daudmanasya. We don't feel good with anybody. Anyone you see, meet, or some people, there's bitterness with oneself. Angame Jayatva. Angame Jayatva means your body is not listening to you. See, like a drunkard man. Who is a drunkard? One who is drunk too much. He wants to go left, but he will start moving to the right. His body takes him to the right. He wants to walk straight, but his body goes haphazard, isn't it? As he tries to grab the glass and he's just, putting his hand on the table away from the glass, trying to hold the glass. Lack of coordination between body and mind. Angame Jayatva. The body wins over. Body doesn't listen to you. You want to walk, but body is not getting up. Do you see what I'm saying? Dukkha daudmanasya angame jayatva swasa prasvasa viksepa saha bhuva. These are the 5 signs of these obstacles overtaking you. These 5 signs. What are the 5 signs? We will go once again over them. These 5 signs of side effects that are seen obviously when any one of these obstacles have overtaken you. What is it? Dukkha, sadness. Daud manasya, bitterness. Angame jayatva, lack of coordination in the body not listening to you. Swasa praswasa, irregular breathing, the breathing in and out, shaky and uncomfortable breathing. These are the viksepas that come along with these obstructions. And what do we do to get rid of them? Overcome them? That we will see tomorrow. Namaste.